Hey everybody, hope y'all are doing good. I hope you have a good Mother's Day too. We're gonna take Mom out to eat probably later on. I think we're gonna have like a cookout, but I hope y'all have a wonderful Mother's Day. But the main, I guess, aspect of this video today is something from personal experience that I know like it actually works. And ever since my divorce, I had been single for a year and a half, had a couple like flings here and there. They didn't last but maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it was something really just out of loneliness, and I don't talk to them anymore, and it kind of ended with a nasty breakup. And it got to a point to where I was wondering, like, why do I keep attracting the same type of guys? And it was over and over and over. It was like almost dating the same people. Because I even had this happen a lot before I got married or before I even met my ex-husband. And it's like, I never understood what was going on. And then, I finally thought I wanted to attract like a high value, just like a really good man. Someone who didn't act like a little boy. Just a high value man. One that would commit, one that wasn't afraid of falling in love or anything like that. Because I typically was attracting these guys that would they didn't want to really commit. They played a lot of games. They were just emotionally unstable. Just had a lot of baggage. And I mean, I get it, everybody has baggage, but it was a lot, and they didn't want to work on solving it. And they just wanted to use it as an excuse for all their bad behavior. And they were kind of flirtatious with other guys, and I would see stuff like on their phone that shouldn't be there. I don't think if you're like monogamous and with somebody. But one day I was just like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting in the same shit situations over and over. I wanted to actually put myself out there in a way that would attract in like a high quality man. And I kind of did some digging, self-reflection, and I realized that, a lot of it is the energy that I was putting out. I was putting out an energy that was desperate, just desperate, and it was really pathetic, honestly. And, people pick up on vibes and energy. We all have intuition. It's there for a reason. You need to listen to it. That's probably my biggest advice in this whole video, is follow your gut. But people, I guess they were picking up on my kind of desperation and wanting love so bad that they saw, I guess, how vulnerable I was. And some people like to take advantage of other people that are vulnerable. I mean, it gives them an opportunity to get something out of you. And I realized I was being used just to get something out of me. Mainly material items, just validation all the time, giving them reassurance all the time. Sex was also, I got used for that a lot more than, I wish I did. And, that's really my own fault. Yes, it wasn't anything I was intentionally doing, trying to get people to use me. But at the end of the day, I'm responsible for myself. And I have nobody to blame but me. But, I've worked through that. I've forgiven myself for that. And I just started putting myself out into the world in a way that made me seem and look like a high quality man. I wanted to become the type of person that I wanted to attract, and so I did. And so with social media, I quit adding all these guys on, I get so many friend requests, and a lot of it would be shirtless guys and all this, and I would just accept, just to accept them. And I quit doing that. I took the toxic people off of all my social media. And it's like when I would meet somebody, I would follow my gut. I would just follow my gut on everything. If something fell off or if something felt wrong, I used to just ignore it. I completely ignored it and was like, well, maybe they'll change, blah, blah, blah. And they don't. They do not. I finally got that ingrained in my hard head that people don't change unless they want to. You cannot make them. And so I would just ignore my instinct. And that landed me, I guess, in more bad situations in my life than anything at all. Because I have a strong intuition. I've always been a very spiritual person. I've always really, for the most part, listened to how I feel. But when it came to relationships and stuff, I just would not listen to it, or I would try to deny it, or, kind of push it down, because I just wanted to be with somebody. And, I feel like a lot of us are like that. But the biggest thing I learned was that if something feels weird with somebody and you can't quite put your finger on it, but something just seems off, then usually, almost 100% of my personal experience was it was true. Something was wrong. I didn't see that nasty side of them until I had done got involved and committed and, just invested and all. And, and then I couldn't take it anymore. And I would have to break up with them or leave, and then they would go psycho, and it was just the craziest bunch of nuts I've ever seen in my life. But, I just started presenting myself in a better way. I followed my intuition, and also another thing, if I met somebody and, whether it be on Tinder or through a mutual friend or something, when it came to the time to exchange contact information, whether it be Snapchat, Instagram, my phone number, whatever, as soon as I would add them, it's like if they started off immediately talking about sex or wanting sex from you, that was an instant no. Because I feel like when you're getting to know somebody, you should that's just, to me, is not the best way to start something off like that. Because I feel like that's what's on their mind. They should be wanting to get to know you as a person instead of that, because that's not, anybody can do that. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. And, I didn't realize that, and I would give in because I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm just a prude. Maybe I'm just stuck up, no fun. And so I would try to loosen up, but the whole time it felt so wrong to me. It did not feel right at all. And so another thing, besides listening to my gut, I started as far as my image, I know looks aren't everything. And it's more of, comes with personality will really make somebody more attractive, I guess. And I just started I kind of cleaned my image up. I quit posting selfies all the time, on social media, because I've always been pretty photogenic for most of especially started kind of in my teenage years. But I quit doing that, and I just stopped acting like I needed somebody all the time. I started to really take time for myself, to learn myself, and to really love myself and be with myself and learn to like that. You have to get into a headspace to where when you meet that person, you want them, but you don't need them in order to be a complete whole person yourself. And you always want to be exactly who you are from the time you meet them. Because if you put on, a facade that you're this person and, you're not, you like this stuff and you don't, if you're not honest about that, most of the time, your true self is going to come out. It's going to come out whether it be a month, a year, it doesn't matter. And that's just part of being in a relationship. You can only hide your real self for so long. And your true self comes out, and the person you're dating is wondering, why this is weird. This isn't the person that I met. And then it'll cause the relationship to fall apart. So that's something I do for sure. I absolutely, I state my morals, what I want, what I believe from the beginning, and we go from there. I don't put on this fakeness that I'm just this person with no problems, with no baggage of my own. No, I quit doing that. Because when you meet somebody on those kind of on a basis like that, it'll really build something solid. And the whole reason, y'all, I am making this video is because I finally have met somebody that I brought in. I attracted them into my life by living this certain way. And this is my first real solid connection with somebody since me and my ex-husband split up. And it's wonderful. I couldn't have asked to meet somebody as wonderful as he is. Forever is not promised. Of course, I would love to be oh, I've met this person and I'm going to fall in love and that's who I stay with forever. But life doesn't work like that. And I learned that the hard way because I thought me and my ex-husband were going to be together forever. And, even though I was loyal and committed, you cannot make somebody stay. You can't make somebody want you. And if they want to go, then they will go. And you're stuck with the aftermath. You're stuck, having to do all the reflection on what you possibly did wrong. And, it took me a while to get over that. But it's to a point now that I really have moved on. And the person that I have met, I mean, like I said, we have a solid connection. We love to talk. I mean, he keeps the conversation going, which is so important to me. And on top of that, I know looks are not everything, but he is a beautiful man. I mean, he looks so good, and, you know, it really sweetens the pot. But he's real funny. He's a family guy like I am. And I guess a lot of people, some people are weird about this, I guess, but he's a father. Like, he has 3 kids, and I absolutely love that because I love kids. I've always wanted kids. And he is such a great dad around his kids that it really shows a lot about, like, his character. And so I couldn't, you know, have asked to meet somebody better. And this is the first, I guess, real high value man that I've ever brought into my life. But it's because I made a conscious effort to do that. You can do anything you put your mind to. The mind is powerful, and it's, you know, just very complex in there. You know, mine is for sure, but it's very powerful. You can bring in anything in your life that you want. You have to put the effort into it. You can't sit and be lazy. You can't half-ass do it. None of that shit. Because if you don't put your all into something, you're not going to get the results that you really want. And so I really buckled down, and I was like, this is what I want. I want to meet someone that is decent. I don't want to meet someone that is just like the rest of them were, just emotionally unstable and just so codependent with me. They were just so codependent and just relied on me for like their everlasting happiness. And it was fucking exhausting. It was absolutely so exhausting. And I did not want to get in anything like that again. And, you know, I finally had met someone like this connection feels different than I have with anybody, any guy that I've ever met. This connection feels more stable. It feels more like genuine. And it's like, I don't know, it's wonderful. And it's like, I am so proud of myself for finally becoming the person that I wanted to be and bring in somebody like that. Because I never thought I would find a guy like that. Never thought. And so now it's like, I know I can do it. And it's because, like, you know, I really like paid attention to myself. I was like, hey, Dylan, you know, it was the way I was acting, the energy I was giving out, just, you know, the way I appeared, you know. I guess I appeared like somebody that was easy, you know, somebody that could be slept with easy. And because my looks have always been complimented most of my life. So I realized I was really pushing that aspect, trying to find someone more than I was like my personality and my love of music and of animals and of spirituality. And, you know, I pushed just the physical, and a lot of that is why I got such bad results and got people that were shallow. I mean, I was, everybody that I had been with y'all was like so shallow. They were always just so concerned with like how I looked. Like they would be like, oh, you need to cut your hair this way. Oh, you need to wear this shirt. And it was messed up. And, you know, I just didn't think like, you know, my God, like, am I not good? What's the deal? And it's because I allowed that to go on. I allowed that to happen. And that's my own fault. But I've learned now that, you know, always just listen to yourself. You know, just be the best person you can be. You will find somebody if you're looking, but that's just some tips and stuff and my advice on how, you know, to really bring in a good man or a good partner at that. You don't have to be gay. You don't have to be, you know, straight. This will work, I believe, truly for any relationship at all. But that's really all I have for y'all today. And I appreciate y'all, you know, coming by and listening to my videos. You can subscribe down at the bottom, and I'll see y'all next week. Thank you.